This is Shane with Texas River Promos with Wes Ford and the Foundry in O'Reilly's, Dallas. So who is Wes Ford and the Foundry?
That guy right there.
I am Wes Ford. I am lead vocals, lead guitar, only guitar.
That's true. Jeff McNeil, drums, and that's what I do is hit things for a living.
Scott Arndt, bass player. And for what we lack in talent, we make up in volume.
I will agree to that. Sure you do. So tell me some of what your influences were growing up as a kid and then even as an adult.
What got me into playing guitar was Metallica. Metallica made me want to play guitar, and that was the first time actually hearing something rather than just listening to it. I decided right then and there I want to do that, and that's when I picked up a guitar. And I was raised in a very musical family, always around music, very musically. Musical appreciation was very big in my family, and you know.
So you're saying a musical family?
Yeah, I've had a few drinks, so
yeah. So he had music in his family.
I had music in my family.
I think he had music in his family.
I think so.
I think so too.
But a lot of it wasn't just Metallica, that kind of thing. It was the classic stuff. Rolling Stones,
some Liberace.
Beatles. Yeah. Hey, I ain't ashamed of liking some Liberace. Come on now. But it's very well rounded what I was exposed to as a kid and as a budding musician that really has helped me develop my style.
That
What about you, Jeff?
Pretty in depth, man.
It wasn't depth.
Wow, that was
Sorry.
You know, as
metaphysical
as a kid, typically, yes, I was into Neil Peart. Neil was, hey, praise Neil. I mean, seen him so many times live.
The Professor.
Yeah, the Professor. My early influences were like progressive drummers, Neil, Alan White from Yes, Cozy Powell, who is one of my favorite double bass players, and then I get into some jazz with Gad, Weckel, people like that. But basically, I've been a rock drummer. It's my passion. It's my love, and I've stuck to it. And that's basically where I come from, man.
Very good. What about you, Scott?
Man, I started playing bass a long time ago, and ironically, like most bass players, their influences are the guys they'll spout off as, like Jaco Pastorius or Geddy Lee or that genre of bass, Flea, the real technical progressive type bass players, and I love those and I respect what they can do. But for me, bass is more of a solid instrument. I've always been in what's called a power trio. I've always played one guitar, a drummer, and a bass player. So my style of bass playing, guys I liked and were influences were Michael Anthony from Van Halen is just an underrated and incredible bass player. Pete Way from UFO, that was my main influence as far as that bass player-drummer relationship. Old UFO stuff, Michael Schenker as a guitar player, just, he blew my mind, So my influences, Glenn Hughes is just amazing both as a vocalist and a bass player, but their styles are very solid, very work with the drummers. So that's kind of what did it for me. I play T-Birds and Gibson Thunderbirds, and a lot of guys go, oh, well, Nikki Sixx, did you play those because of Nikki Sixx? And I was like, no. Actually, what started me on those is I love Johnny Winter as a guitar player. And the Firebird guitar from Johnny Winter was what did it for me. And I was like, I got to have a bass like that. Yeah, so that's when I started playing T-Birds. And then I discovered Pete Way from UFO, and he played T-Birds, which was long before like Nikki Sixx or any of this stuff. And I hear that a lot. Oh, you play the bass Nikki Sixx plays. And I'm like, well, no, not really. Ever heard of Pete Way or Johnny Winter?
Right,
and they're like, who? I'm like, never.
I think that's a formula that works really good for this band because Scott is such a solid bass player. It gives me as a drummer the opportunity to kind of showboat around that groove a little bit because I know he's there and that bottom end is there and we're solid. you know.
Yeah.
And then when Wes takes off and does his stuff, you know, me and Scott lock in and go, hey, dude, take it, roll, you know, run with it.
Oh yeah.
You know, having Scott as a bass player is unlike any other bass player I've ever had. I've played in a lot of bands, but having Scott as a bass player it's almost like having another guitar player in the band, because whenever as a 3-piece, you know, there's always generally a lot of, okay, guitar player's going to do a solo, and then there's deadness.
Yeah.
But with Scott and Jeff, the way they work together, it makes me feel like, and it makes me, I think it sounds like, hey, he's not dropping out rhythm guitar, he's playing a part to the song. It's not just there's dead space there. Everything is filled, because
there's a unification.
There's a unification. We understand what a rhythm section is, which is something that I think a lot of bands, especially in the last 10 years, have forgotten about.
Well, I think a big thing too with 3-piece bands is a lot of people go, you know, oh, what happens when the guitar player takes a lead or does something like that? And with us, it's second nature. Yep. It really is.
It is.
I mean, we have never been a 3-piece band that considered going to a 4-piece band, because the tightness of the band is so there. It's never even crossed our mind, because we've just been, it's like when we're on stage, we're all just hitting, and it's just it's instantaneous, but yet it is so locked in, it just happens. And I know a lot of guys that are players out there they're friends, and they're jealous, that, and not in a bad way, they're just like, God, how do you guys do that? You just get together and the shit just happens, you know? It just happens, and it just works, and it works for us.
Well, that's because we just really don't give a shit. We just play it. We don't overthink it.
Actually, that is part of it.
That's it. It's really a lot of not overthinking it.
Yeah, it's not overthinking it. It's really hey, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna not give a shit and just do what we do.
Yeah.
And that's it. If people dig it,
it works.
If people dig it, hey, that's fucking great.
And the biggest thing is with new songs, Wes will come in and go, hey guys, I got a new idea. And we can literally transform his idea into a completed song usually within a rehearsal.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, the last new idea, he came to practice the day before our show. At the end of practice, we had the song ready, and we played it the next night on the show.
Played it the next night. Yeah.
Wow.
And it is, I think, one of our best songs right now in the set.
I think so. It's got that direction that we're heading.
Yeah,
towards,
and as a matter of fact, he's got a new song idea that Scott and I haven't heard yet, that I'm very anxious.
Actually, I haven't. It's cool as shit.
Oh, well then fuck you.
Yeah.
Asshole. Yeah. So I'm anxious to hear it. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited because of the way everything has been transpiring going into this project. Yeah. It's been like a thrill ride, you know. I mean, the idea comes on the plate, it's fucking awesome, we take it, we mold it, and next thing you know, we got a fucking song, and it's kicking ass.
Great.
And we're all just going, God damn, man, this bitch is ready to fucking rock.
Yeah. And, you know, most bands will take they'll take a new song that they have, you know, and they'll take months or even a year before they'll play a song that they just came up with. All right, well, it's got to go on the next record. We don't want to play that. We're not that way, you know.
And as like you can tell, we're not shy to talk about this.
Yeah, like Jeff was saying.
Good.
I mean, we literally, and I've never been in a band situation like this, to take a song, take an idea, and literally in a rehearsal, write it, rehearse it, next night we're playing it.
Yeah.
That's just nuts.
Yeah.
And you
It
know,
is very cool.
and now that's a song that we play every night.
Yeah, and people are asking for it already,
Yeah.
and we're just going, you know what? Fuck it. That's it.
Just go with it.
You know.
Yeah,
So-
cool. Speaking of direction, what is the ultimate direction for Wes Ford and the Foundry?
We have no ulterior motives, man. We're just
Yeah.
we're just playing what we like to play and hoping
Exactly.
people dig it. And you know, we're doing shows. We're working on the CD. We've got all the drum tracks, bass tracks, all the rhythm guitar tracks are done. Actually, next week Wes will go in and he'll finish up the other guitar tracks, the solos, and the little added pieces of guitar. And then a week or two after that, he'll go in and he'll do all the vocals on it.
Right.
So, you know, I hate to give time frames. Sometime within the next couple of months, we'll have the CD finished, and it'll represent us. It is us. It's
It's what we are and who we are.
Right.
And I think direction-wise, I think, you know, it's funny because a lot of bands will say, oh, you know, we got a little Pantera on this, and we got a little bit of this and that and everything else. And the funny thing about this band, I don't feel any like influence from a band I've ever heard. We get on stage and we play from our hearts, and it's just us.
And,
you know?
and that shows.
And I really hope that shows, because it's what we do. We just get on stage and we are who we are. We don't try and mimic anybody. We don't try and be anybody or sound like anybody. We just get on stage and do what the fuck we do, which is like just get out and rock the fuck out of everybody in the house.
Well,
And-
I will say that tonight is one of the best local shows that I've been to in a very long time.
oh, thank
Oh,
you,
right.
Shane.
Definitely.
You
Thank
guys
you.
killed it.
You know, and
Definitely
it's funny.
appreciate
I've
that.
had people who've seen us before quite a few shows tonight say, "You guys fucking hit it out of the park tonight, man." And that says a lot, you know, because these people are they're professionals, they're musicians, and I take their criticism with great interest. So, you know.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that's the toughest thing the question I get, because like when I'm out on the street or working or whatever I'm doing, the band thing doesn't really come into conversation, and 3 weeks or 3 months later, somebody that I'm working with or hanging with will go, "Oh man, you play in a band?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And well, what do you guys sound like? That's the hardest question I get.
Yeah.
And,
It
and
is
all
very,
I can
it is very hard.
Yeah, because people want to compare you at that point.
And all I can ever tell anybody is like, man, we play hard Texas rock, man. We are a Texas band. We got big fat guitar. We're loud, and we're definitely Texas, man. It's
Yeah.
not
So that would basically describe your sound as a band, just hard
Texas hard
rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is, man. And you know what? We're not metal. We're not hard rock. We're not blues. We're not anything.
We sure ain't funk.
We're not funk. We are.
Yeah.
We are just a. Do what we do. Don't give a fuck if anybody likes it or not. We like it.
Yeah.
Rock
And that's
band.
That
Yeah.
really has
Right.
been the bottom line.
Yeah.
Is when we're putting a song together, it's all total inspiration. It's not based on the idea if anybody's going to like it,
Yeah.
or if it's like what's hot right now,
Commercially
or if
viable,
it's acceptable or
yeah.
whatever. It's all based off of an idea, and within seconds we know if that idea is us
Yeah.
as a unit.
Yep. I
You
mean,
know.
case in point, the song I brought to you guys a couple of months ago didn't
work.
It didn't work.
Not all of them work.
Yeah,
And you know what?
It didn't work, and
That's the writing process.
didn't work, and
you
we
know?
said right there, no, that's not going to work.
No,
All
we-
right, let's
we
do
knew.
that. But that practice right there, that rehearsal was the rehearsal that we wrote the song that we played the next fucking night.
Right. Yeah. But that's
And,
just it. That's
you know.
the brutal, honest truth with this band. Any band, and I can tell anybody listening right now, any band that it wants to be honest and true to themselves has to be true to their music. And if you're going to write a song, and in your heart, everybody in the band feels like that is who they are,
then they'll know it.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they don't, then they're fooling themselves. And that's just the way music inspires and is.
They're in
You
it
know.
for the wrong reasons. At that
I like it
point,
when we get
you know?
done, when we've put a new song together, we've bashed it out a few times and it starts to get tight, and then we play it and we plow through it with the power. All three of us, we'll look at each other when we're done. We'll go, "Oh shit, that was cool!
Yeah.
Right.
Damn, let's play that again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, well, this is going to conclude our interview, and I thank you guys for letting us have this opportunity. I'm Shane with Texas Rebel Promos, and this is
Wes Ford.
Jeff McNow.
And Scott Arndt. Together we are Wes Ford and the Foundry.
Hell yeah.
thank you very much, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
Hell yeah.